Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. I want to describe to you what is coming in the near future and what we're experiencing right now. It is the year 2024. We are about almost at the completion of 6,000 years of the history of man. And biblically, we are on a timeline of 7,000 years. God created the earth in 6 days. On the seventh day, he rested. Likewise, man, in the same similar pattern, man will have 7 days, or rather 6 days on this earth. A day to the Lord is 1,000 years. 1,000 years is like a day. That's biblical. And so we will have 6,000 years to figure our stuff out, to get ready to accept Jesus Christ or not accept him. And we will have a millennial reign of Christ where God rests and the world rests for 1,000 years. And these verses here in Matthew 24 describe what are going to happen in the last days. It was yet future. Matthew 24, and as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him, saying privately, Tell us, when shall all these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? So they're asking for a description of the end of the world. What does the end of the world look like? Well, it says, Jesus answered and said to them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. So are we hearing of wars, rumors of wars? Yes. Be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass. These will come and go. The end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. There will be famines, pestilences, earthquakes all over the earth. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. Folks, I believe that we're in the beginnings of sorrows, and it likens it to birth pains. A woman with birth pains, they start. And when they start, they're soft and they're few and far between, as they say. But as the woman gets closer to the birthing of the baby, they get closer together and they get more intense. They increase in frequency and intensity before that before that birthing. And the birth of the Christians is really coming. We're conceived when Jesus was on the earth, when a Pentecost came and the church was born. We were conceived there, and the full birthing, the full ultimate effect of the Christians will come when the Lord returns. It says in verse 5. No, I read that. All these are beginnings of sorrows. So we are in the beginnings of sorrows, folks. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended. Are people offended in this day and age? Read into that hate laws. Everybody is offended about something. No one will accept any bad word against them. You'll go to jail if you say any bad word. It's deemed hate, right? Hate laws. Many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. What were they doing? What were they doing during COVID? They were betraying you. Right? If you stepped out of your house when you weren't supposed to be, when you were supposed to be on lockdown, the police encouraged people, governments encouraged people to call out, rat out, if you will, those people that weren't obeying the law, that your friends and neighbors betrayed you. And shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. There shall be great deception in the last days. Was a large part of the pandemic deception on many levels? I think all of the people who follow me would agree that there was a lot of deception. And because sin abounds, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, a world without love, this is what we're heading into, folks. And that is a scary world, because that means everybody's going to betray everybody. You will not have any confidants. You will not have, friends, loved ones, or not many of them, because everybody's going to be after everybody else in the last days. This is what happens. This is a taste of what hell will be like, a world without love, where everybody is just at everybody's throats because they are not forgiving. They do not want to forget. They do not want to be kind. They do not want to accept others as they are. Instead, they want to put you in jail for your beliefs. It says, "But who shall endure till the end shall be saved, and the gospel of the King shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto the nations. Then shall the end come." So, folks, we've got all of this to go through, and then the end comes. This he's talking about the end of the world, because the disciples asked, what about the end of the world? When is the end of the world? What are the signs going to be? Well, the Lord told you. You're going to live through a lot of this, and then the end shall come. And I believe the end comes when the Lord brings justice, when His wrath comes. The middle part, verse 12 or so in Revelation chapter 6, that's when the wrath comes, and that's when God brings justice to the world. Zimbabwe, they're looking to go to a gold currency. This is the destruction of the economies of the world, the economic collapse. Now, Zimbabwe has already been has already went through collapse and hyperinflation, but this is an example of what's coming to the rest of the world. And they're going back to a gold, or at least a semi-gold backed currency. It's also going to be based on a number of foreign currency reserves. So is it still going to inflate? Yes. If it was gold, it would not, because there is intrinsic value to gold. But any of these currencies that these government wants to go to, they want some sort of fiat or fake currency because they can control it. You can't control gold. Hospitals in Israel instructed to prepare for mass casualty event. This is April 4th. This is again based on the 48-hour window that the CIA said that Iran would strike Israel. Still waiting on that. There hasn't been a strike. Is there going to be a massive cyber attack? Is there going to be a large flotilla of flying Doritos drones coming at them? Could be. But not only have they summoned all hospital managers for a planning meeting against the threat from Iran and a potential mass casualty event, they've also instructed all Israeli troops. There is no leave for Israeli troops during this time. Japan, and of course, we just had an earthquake hit in New York, a 4.7 or so, and these earthquakes are kicking up again. Now there was a 6.1 just off the coast of Fukushima, April 4th, 2024. We have earthquakes in diverse places and in odd places as well. New York, that's a big event there. Now there wasn't a lot of destruction or damage, but that's still a big event there. This is an article from the Gateway Pundit. They're starting to warn about bird flu again. This is going to be the next pandemic. It's going to be 100 times worse than COVID, they say. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to bring down martial law. They're going to lock you in your house. They're going to force you to get whatever the latest medicine is. And they're going to take away your backyard chickens because they can get bird flu and pass along bird flu. This is the next thing. Remember, they're going into declarations of emergency just for a solar eclipse. The idea of emergencies is normalized now, and they will use an emergency for anything at this point. They will start calling declarations of emergencies for climate change, and they will limit how far you can drive. They will limit, the animals in your backyard. You name it. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to call it affecting climate change. If you go buy too many groceries, that's climate change. If you jog too much, that's climate change because you're burning oxygen and you're releasing CO2 into the atmosphere. So you're going to be limited on your exercising. And what are they going to tell you to do? They're going to tell you to take all the supplements and all the vitamins that they sell to you in place of actually getting out there and getting healthy. Pestilences and earthquakes in the last days. This is an April 3rd article from the Economic Collapse blog. And it goes through, the largest producer of eggs, the idea that bird flu is coming, the price of eggs is increasing. But you know what? The solution isn't to have your own backyard chicken so you can provide for yourself and even make a little money and provide for others. No, get rid of that because of bird flu. You're going to have to live on less eggs, and they're going to want more bigger government-controlled, egg plants, egg farms to provide these for you. So you're going to have less food in the near future. So this goes on, and it fulfills the idea of the beginnings of Soros. This is an interesting one. FDA study confirms that the mRNA, immediately increases risk of infants suffering seizures. I'll probably get a strike on my channel for that. I don't know if they're still doing that. April 4th, FDA. Do you know what? You know what's happening with the cases that Trump's in? Not saying that Trump is innocent, but certainly there's lawfare happening. There's overzealous judicial review of Trump. Meanwhile, Biden's doing similar things. But this idea of a lawfare, but you know what? They're telling lies, but the truth will come out. The truth is slowly coming out about what they pushed on us. Really, a study conducted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has found that giving mRNA to children aged 2 to 5 immediately increases risk of suffering from febrile seizures. So let's take that for what it's worth. You need to be aware of this, and they pushed something on us at that time. So, folks, we're kind of full circle to Matthew 24. Speaking of what Jesus said in the last days, remember, note that he didn't say that we will all get out scot-free safely. No, some of us are going to be persecuted. Some of us are going to be killed for the name of Christ. In these last days, you need to strengthen your faith. I'm not, I'm putting out a happy message. I'm not putting out a message a lot of people like to hear. Look, if I thought there was going to be a rapture before all the hard stuff came, I would love for that to be true, and I would obviously tell you. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I don't. Well, not anymore. I don't know if that was the case ever. That was a theology, a doctrine put out. Who was it, by John Darby, something like that? Maybe that was dispensationalism. Anyways, it was an idea put out there not long ago, and it made everybody feel good, but I don't know if I don't read it in the scriptures. That's what I'm saying. I don't read it in the scriptures. When Jesus directly answered the disciples about what the signs will be at the end of the world, he didn't say, you know what, we're going to take you out of it, and if you're a good Christian, you're not going to experience any trouble in your life. No, he says you're going to experience trouble. Some shall die, and you're going to be hated, and that's what's happening. Our freedoms will be taken away. We will be hated by everybody. And we're going into effectively a Mad Max end of the world situation. So this is what you need to be prepared for. And a lot of things are happening. Boy, the earthquake in New York, that was a stunner to everybody. These weird things are going to happen. They're going to blame it on climate change. They will never turn back to God. They will never say, look, God, maybe you're doing this. Maybe you're bringing this upon us to open our eyes. No, they won't say that. They will simply deny Christ and put more rules and laws on us for climate change or whatever the thing of the day is. And all the governments will think they're doing great thing, virtual signaling, and they will not recognize Christ. They will choose any other distraction but to recognize that Jesus Christ is coming again and that they may have sin in their lives that they need to deal with. Pay attention, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.